How's it going, film and TV fans? Welcome back to episode 10 of the Netflix review, and today we are looking at the Army of the Dead prequel film, Army of Thieves, directed by Matthew Swashen, the guy who plays Ludwig Dieter directed the movie. That's all I'm gonna fucking say, because much like in the film where they make the joke of his name being unpronounceable as the character's name, his actual name is not very pronounceable for people outside of Germany and shit. Anyway, the prequel to Army of the Dead, that doesn't end the same way that Army of the Dead ends, and is less zombie horror, more safe cracking thriller. And actually, I won't fucking lie, this is also on the top 10 Netflix movies, meaning 4 of the 10 slots have been taken already, and we're 10 films in, and we have 56 left to go. 55 with this. It's gonna be long. Really fucking long. Anyway, like I said, this is also a really fucking good movie. And another thing, like Army of the Dead, that keeps this movie together, is its core cast of characters. While there are less characters here than in Army of the Dead, I think these characters feel more like I enjoy these characters more than the ones in the Army of the Dead. Not by much, but a little bit. I think it does help that of these characters, 3 of them are played by actors I recognise, and there are pretty much 5 main characters. So, you know, and obviously those characters being Ludwig Dieter, played by Matthew I don't know how to say his name, played by the director guy. The other 2 being Nathalie Emmanuel as Gwendolyn, and the man, the myth, the legend, Guz Khan as Rolf. Who I know from Man Like Moby, the excellent television series that is. Obviously, Nathalie Emmanuel from the Fast and Furious franchise. So, it's nice to see those people. I have to admit, Guz Khan is awesome in this movie, but he's barely in it, so I can't say he steals the show. I do think our cast of characters together, they work really well. I won't lie. I like the story, the way the characters move along through the story. I think Nathalie Emmanuel and Ludwig, sorry, I'll just call them by their character names because it's easier. Gwen and Ludwig Dieter's, their romance kind of thing, it works throughout the film. This has a lot more comedy to it than I think Army of the Dead does, but at the same time, this is also more action thriller movie where, you know, it's just a really fucking good movie. I won't lie, this Army of the Dead franchise is looking to be one of my favourite parts of Netflix, because not only are these 2 movies already in existence, there is a prequel animation series which is in post-production at the moment, on the way, plus a sequel to Army of the Dead that brings together people from the animated series, which, don't know how the fuck they're going to do that, because if you're going to do that, why make it animated if you're going to have to bring them in real life? But unless they're going to make their sequel from animated, which is a bad idea, but obviously not going to do that, because that sequel film is directed by Zack Snyder, and it brings together the people from the animated series that hasn't come out yet, and the living remaining characters from Army of the Thieves, which, I say living, all of them actually do survive the film, unlike Army of the Dead. So, to me, at first glance, I was assuming that this was maybe not true, because when I checked the cast list for Planet of the Dead, only Gwen and Ludwig's actors were listed in the credits for that film, and as for characters from Army of the Dead, it's only what's his, the one at the end of Army of the Dead that we see bitten is listed in the cast list, plus some new guy. Yeah, there are several nods to Army of the Dead, of course, in places, but like I said, the whole cast and the characters do a brilliant job. I think this is genuinely one of the most entertaining films I've watched in this series, and it's nice to have two back-to-back films in the same franchise actually be, because this is one of Netflix's big franchises. I don't know if you know this, but Army of the Dead was one of the most successful films for Netflix in terms of the amount of people who actually watched it, and good, because it's actually a very good movie, I won't lie. Movie I will be watching again. But this movie in particular, for me, emphasises the fun of this franchise, where it's not all just zombies and shit. Or obviously there are several references to zombie outbreak and stuff, but that's not the main focus of the movie. The main focus of this movie is Ludwig Dieter and his journey to becoming the safe cracker that they hire at the beginning of Army of the Dead. And as such, the last 10 minutes of this movie are taken scene by scene from Army of the Dead, showing him being recruited by Bautista and his friend. Which, for me, how I would have ended it, is in Army of the Dead, and even when they show at the end of this movie, Bautista's car pulls up and they walk into the Gwendolyn's locksmith co. I would have had that bit happen where he pulls up and they walk into the shop, then cut to credits, because you know what's happening. But instead they actually show you the whole conversation and everything, which is just like, bro, unless you're trying to add more runtime to the film, because that actually pushed the film over 2 hours to 2 hours and 10 minutes, in my humble opinion. I think if I do the math, that does push the film to 2 hours 10, excluding credits. But including credits, it's still 2 hours 10 anyway, so maybe it doesn't. But like I said, I think it would have ended much better if it just showed the car pulling up and then Bautista and his friend getting out of the car and walking to the locksmith, and then cut to black, roll credits. But no, that's not how the movie wanted to do it. They just ripped the entire fucking scene out of Army of the Dead and plopped it in Army of Thieves, which is not the best way to do it. But if there's one thing for me that makes this film, that is better in this film than it is in Army of the Dead, that's the music, which here is by Hans Zimmer and Steve Mazzaro, which I think is far better personally than Junkie XL's score for Army of the Dead. I just think it sounds cooler, it sounds epic. It's definitely one of Zimmer's more recent movies that actually sounds really fucking good and actually, you know, works well for me personally. So I really like the music in this movie. It sounds good. I don't have the Army of the Dead soundtrack downloaded on my phone, but I do have the one for this one. So I suppose that says it all, really. And it's quite catchy in places like this piece of music. Yeah. For me, it's a movie that excels in being genuinely entertaining with, like I mentioned previously, great characters, great music, and it's great fun. And it's more than just being, like I said, because that's basically how I would fucking describe Shaft minus the music. Great fun, great characters, and an enjoyable, entertaining movie. But while that movie is very much, literally, just an entertainment movie, and there isn't much beyond the surface to that one, with this movie, for me, it's a movie that actually adds so much to this franchise, which a lot of people, I believe, don't do, and actually makes things fully functionally work through and have an interesting new set of characters that will return, and that's what I love about it. It actually does so much to this franchise that, had it gone a different way, it might not have done. Which is why I'm happy that it was as good as it was. Yeah, it was just a really well-made movie, and it comes down to the fact that having an actor directors don't always work, I think, but here it seems to work quite well, because genuinely I was entertained. I was gripped the whole time. I wasn't bored by any. And honestly, going in, I knew there were going to be a lot of sequences based upon safe cracking, which I thought could potentially be quite boring in places, but I thought they were shot wonderfully. They looked really cool. They worked really well, and they kept me entertained, which is something I can say I genuinely didn't expect from this fucking movie. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's a very, genuinely, I was quite shocked at how good this franchise was, because while I was not, thinking it was going to be as good as it was, I wasn't thinking it was going to be terrible, but it was really good. And I can't wait for the next stuff. iPhone will be there day one for both of these things, and I'm upset that I didn't watch either of these movies when they first came out. I mean, hell, I was there when the soundtracks of both movies released all the way back, so that was a fun moment. Yeah, I remember. Or at least remember the single from Army of the Dead coming out. Huh. Riders Republic, that was something I don't remember. Yeah, it's just a really damn good movie. I won't lie to you. I fucking loved it. I thought it was brilliant. And I thought, there's a few things that could be done, but not necessary for me. And I actually found myself wanting more. But in all honesty, after I watched Army of the Dead, I was like, I want more of this world. But is Army of the Thieves gonna be gonna satisfy that craving? Is it gonna be as good? Is it gonna be as well made? Is it gonna be similar styled? And while it wasn't similar styled in terms of it wasn't a zombie film, it did the job of me wanting to see more of this world and one of these characters at least. And yeah, it is a movie I really enjoyed. So thanks so much for watching my review of Army of the Thieves. Go watch it on Netflix. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We do episode 11, and I don't know what that movie will be, because I haven't picked it yet. The wheel hasn't picked it. The reason why Army of the it wasn't just the most luckiest thing in the world that the wheel picked Army of Thieves straight after Army of the Dead. The initial plan was always, if I got Army of the Dead, the very next day, the very next episode would be Army of the Thieves, just to make it work. And at one point I was thinking maybe I won't do that, but I was actually I enjoyed Army of the Dead so much that I just wanted to watch Army of the Thieves, so I just did it anyway. But here we are. Thanks so much for watching. Go and stream Adventure Island. And as you'll see, just after just after I finish speaking here, the date for Retro Squad and my next EP, which comes out 5 days later. Yes, Shipwreck Coast, which will launch on the opening day of the Shipwreck Coast area at Chessington, 15th of July. 3 tracks. I consider it an EP. Spotify and the streaming services don't. Fuck them. But if James Marriott and Archie can put out a 3-track EP and still being listed as an EP on Spotify, then I fucking can. So fuck you. Yeah, go check those out when they come out. I keep forgetting to put pre-save links anywhere. It doesn't really bother me anymore. Just letting you know, it will be available on those days, midnight, in your country of origin on that day. Which for me happens to be one of the last countries that the music releases get pushed out in. So, but I managed to get access to it 12 PM the day before when it would come out in the first country. But I wouldn't be able to listen to the songs on Spotify. But either way, basically, when you go on my profile and a new release comes out the next day, it will already be pinned the day before, because I pin it then just to make sure everyone just because why the fuck not. Anyway, go watch Army of Thieves, go watch Army of the Dead review, Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and bye bye for now.